Hey there, Xander here with EventMB, and this video, we're talking about the 9 circles of event hell. Welcome to the Event Manager blog video series. This video is brought to you by EventMB, the #1 resource for event professionals. When it comes to planning events, we're responsible for hundreds, if not thousands, of elements and decisions that are all subject to failure. Everything can fail. The power can fail, the food can fail, the speakers can fail, everything. This is event hell, where things are going crazy and you can't quite find a solution to every single problem that's coming up. In this video, we're going to talk through the different levels of event hell based on severity and talking about what are some of the individual elements that you need to keep an eye out for when you're planning and on-site at your events. The first level is going to be purgatory. Everything is nice. The last guest just went home. What a wonderful feeling, because let's be perfectly honest, any time that is not specifically spent at the end of your event and your event being over is kind of spent in event hell. Everything went well, your guests were happy, clients were happy, all is good. The first real level of hell is going to be limbo. You're in a massive general session room. 2,000 people are attending this session, and half of them are asleep. Nobody's paying attention, they're on their phones. And as you look up at the screen, you realize that you forgot to check the slides, which happen to be formatted for a 4.3 aspect ratio instead of a 16:9. And those black bars are going to be staring at you for eternity. But no one's complaining. Everybody seems to be peaceful, so things are all right. Here on level 2, somehow the power goes out, yet the air conditioning is just constantly running. On level 2, we're looking at those environmental conditions, those things that might make your attendees feel uncomfortable. That's probably physical. If it's too cold in the room, they're gonna leave. If they're physically uncomfortable, they're gonna be distracted. So make sure you're paying special attention to all of those environmental elements that you're putting together. Level 3 is going to be for catering chaos. On this level, as far as the eye can see, we see half-naked men and women draped with sushi as a lovely buffet display. These are those weird catering choices that can really spark chaos's fury. So when you have mislabeled allergy food labels, or if you have a non-vegan meal that you're serving to your vegan guests, things can go insane. Be sure to be thoughtful and concise in your food and beverage planning for your event, and you're gonna have a much smoother experience. Level 4 is for the greedy and the ignorant. I imagine that this level looks a lot like the Fire Festival. You know, when you put together an event and you're being a little ignorant, you don't really know what goes into producing a large-scale program, yet you're willing to ask your attendees to spend a ton of money and not put that money back into the event. That's greed, and you're not gonna wanna be on that level. So on level 5, this is the level where you're gonna have to have that conversation with your client. Did you make a mistake? Is there some weird order coming through one of your vendors that's really blowing your budget? Just any bad news that you have to share with them? Well, that's here at this level. So they decided that they wanted to go with this certain bottle of wine, but didn't realize that it was $600 instead of a $40 bottle. Yeah, that's gonna be the wrath side of the relationship that you're gonna see, maybe for the first time. Honesty is always going to be your best bet. Even in these situations where you have to give bad news or tell them something that isn't going well, gotta be honest. But if you can provide them a solution at the same time that you're presenting them with this bad news, it lets them know that you're already thinking ahead towards that solution. At level 6, you're starting to see a drop in your attendance. People aren't coming out to your event because there are new events and they want to check out these other opportunities. Don't give them a chance to go and meet the other kid. Be innovative, creative, and engaging with your content, and your attendees are going to stick around. So on level 7 is the place where you only pretend that you have an emergency and security protocol in place. That level where you say that everything is going to be fine, your emergency plan has been submitted, but it turns out you just copied and pasted it off a template that you found online. You need to dedicate both time and resources to creating a safety plan for your guests and for your vendors, because ultimately you're charged with the lives of all of the attendees that are coming to your programs. Don't put those lives at risk. On level 8, we're talking about the fraudulent service providers and the vendors that are charging $35 for a full wedding session on Groupon because they're awful. The service that they provide isn't going to be what you're looking for. You're going to be disappointed, and ultimately you chose them because they were a low price option, so you shouldn't have that high of expectations. If you do have any expectation for success, you need to go with a well-vetted vendor. And finally, we have arrived. We are in the center of event hell, which turns out is pretty personally defined. For me, it's non-floor length linens, 7:30 a.m. start times, rustic barn themes, make your own sandwich buffets. That's my hell. What's yours? Leave us a comment below and let us know. That's it. Those are the 9 levels of event hell, and the only way to recognize that you're in the midst of one of them is to observe what's going on around you. Talk to the people that are attending your events, watch what they're doing and how they're interacting with individual elements, and try to correct some of these failures or opportunities for failure before you start going deeper and deeper into the levels of event hell. Thanks for tuning into this video, the 9 circles of event hell. This video is brought to you by EventMB, the #1 resource for event professionals. Remember, if you like this video, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in.